So, Nicaragua, another country in Central America. So, let's see how those people actually, but first, some context. Let's see some numbers. So, population 7 million people and raises up. The good news is the growing rate pretty much slows down, at least, not exactly a clearly down trajectory, but we're gonna see that. Now, 1955, only 1.5 million people living in this land, with a growing rate about 3%. That will be roughly 40,000 people, and minus migration of minus 2,200 people. Median age, not even 16 years old, and one of those nonsense fertility rates, 7.1 for God's sake. Urban population around 36%. Now, fast forward to 2025, the population is 7 million people. It's insane. Yearly change now slows down, but still not enough. 1.32, above 1%. Yearly change, almost 100,000 people. Migration, still on minus 8,000 people. And median age around 26 years old, as you can see. Now, fertility rate, they got to much more manageable numbers, 2.1, 2.2, but still a bit high from such a small country, I would say, especially when in the past there were so few of them and now insanely high. And urban population around 60%. Pretty interesting numbers. Now in the future, they project the population is going to reach 8.7 million people. Even then, with a growing rate about 0.6%, that will be roughly around 50,000 people. Migration still on minus, with 8,000 people leaving the country. Median age around 34 years old. 35, let's say. Fertility rate now got below replacement, 1.8, 1.9, but still very high. And urban population around 65%. So huge numbers here in the population area. Okay, this in 100 years, they got from 1.5 to 8.8. See? That's insane. We're talking about millions of people. That's insane. Life expectancy, very high, I would say. 75 years old for both sexes. Female 77, male 72, so pretty huge numbers. Infant mortality rate 10.5 and death at the age of 5 12.8. Those are way too big numbers to have a decent medical system. So the medical system is almost non-existent, I would say. So demographic of Nicaragua, as you can see, they have some male surplus in population by the age of 22, 24. Probably that's the age when people say, okay, we have enough, we want to move in other countries at least to see how those people work, how live, and they go at least to work outside. Then they have a female supply increase here. They have a surplus from the age of, let's say, 26, 28 until pretty much the day they die. So yeah, that's an interesting fact here. But economic wise, let's see how well a country like Nicaragua, which is a very nice location, probably it's a very nice place to live, judging by the landscape, not by the economics and all that metrics, but the landscape could be pretty nice. But let's see how the well economic they do. GDP, 18 billion US dollars, so pretty much nothing. And PPP around 55 billion US dollars. The growth is around 3.5%, which is pretty much nothing, and inflation is 5, yeah, not even close. GDP per capita, 2,600 US dollars nominal. That's extremely low. I'm not sure exactly what they can do with that money per capita. And PPP around $7,000. Yeah, very disappointment. Agriculture 15%, that's the problem. Industry 24%, and services 60%. Yeah, 2017, but yeah, that's the problem. Unemployment rate in 2024 6.8. It's pretty high, I have to say, pretty high. But yeah, we're gonna see how that is gonna play when we see exactly how those people live. They export a lot from USA and they import most of the things to USA. So yeah, probably they export a lot of cigars there. Now, corruption here. I can already see that dark spot right there. So we're gonna go exactly for the numbers. Nicaragua has the points. Let me see. Nicaragua 14 points and stay the same. So yeah, things extremely corrupt here. Almost cannot get more corrupt than that. So yeah, things in a corrupt country like that, things cannot go that well. Probably that's why the economic is such a small declared economic. Probably a lot of the other economics are let's say on the black market, and they are not getting taxed and are not getting introduced in those GDP numbers. So that's always a thing that should keep in mind. Now everybody knows Nicaragua, it was a Spanish colony, Spanish influence, you can call it whatever you want. Not secret, there is no secret here when you say like that. So yeah, things are not going that well for the ex-Spanish colonies and even Portuguese ones. So yeah, not that many Street Vision 360, but we're gonna work with what we have. So let's see how those people actually, like I say, keep in mind, when you have corrupt countries, corrupt governments, a lot of the economy can be on the black market, so there actually could be more money in the country and per capita per se. And everybody knows some people are doing better than others in pretty much any country. So here we're probably gonna have a lot of inequality. Keep an eye on that too. So yeah, things are not going that great for the average guy. Probably that's why they choose to leave. Housing department, yeah, not exactly the worst. This one I kind of like it, but everything else around the house, yeah, this garbage here, it doesn't look that well, and that you cannot blame the government for that garbage. Let's face it, that it's on you, that it's on the people. So yeah, they can clean up very easy that and maintain it a very nice place here, but they choose not to. So I'm not complaining about the government in this situation. It's just about the people, how they choose to live with their own means in their own yards. When you have something like that, you cannot blame on anyone besides yourself. Let's see this one. Oh, it's from inside. Okay, inside they have AC, which is pretty good. Maybe it's from renting, that's why I'm not sure. It seems to do as a bare minimum, I would say. You cannot get more minimum than that for decent living conditions. So yeah, not sure exactly what's happening in this region. That's for renting, that's for someone else's house. I'm not sure if you go a 360. Why would you want to put a 360 from your house? But I don't know, maybe they just choose to do that. Here in Nicaragua, this is a church. Well, a very basic church, let's call it like that. But hey, it is a church nevertheless. I'm not sure exactly what. Oh, they have those fans here, that's why, and then a light. Okay, so very basic. Yeah, it is working, I guess, but still, they will need some donation to do well. I don't like this garbage here again. This is on the people. You cannot blame the government. When I see garbage in like this, I never blame the government. It's just no, that's on the people. When I see garbage in one place and then I get picked up, that you can blame on the government. But we can see it spread it everywhere now. That's not the government fault. Let's face it. If you want to blame them, and that's the people's fault, 100%. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's happened here. It's a wedding. They burn the field and it's celebrating. This guy is filming. They have a plastic chair. Not sure exactly what's happened here, but it's a lot of chaos. Let's call it like that. So yeah, here on the East Coast, and probably it's gonna be the same story. Oh, they have some islands. Let's check those. Maybe they have islands for tourist population people. You can actually visit those nice places from the safety of the island. Here, yeah, it's a resort. It looks pretty nice. I'm not sure why they didn't pick up those leaves here that don't look that well, and why they don't clean the beach. Clearly the resort is right there, and they should do a better job. Unfortunately, they don't. And that I can blame on the staff, or the management of the hotel, the resorts, whatever they have it here. Well, it looks pretty nice. I like those small houses. See, even if you try to live in a small house, the average guy there, and you build something like that, maybe you can build it very much more easily because it's smaller and probably not going to use that many materials. You can build something like that, let's say in a year. You're still going to live in much better condition than you live today. So that's, I think, a way of improving the way they build and the way they actually settle, let's say, the next building code, whatever. They need to start from somewhere, and with cheap construction, like, I don't think it's that expensive. Especially, I don't think they have not that much urban code and that much paperwork, so that should be cut a lot of the cost. But yeah, there is definitely ways we can do it better, and that could be a good start, I would say. That's a nice place here. I kind of like it. Look at this. That's a nice place when you have some vacation here on those small islands. Probably again much more safe. much more safe than just going in the mainland. So yeah, probably if you get good weather, and it looks a bit more cleaner so far. So yeah, maybe they're trying to do some sort of a better job, but not exactly the top-notch one. I definitely can manage that much better. I will never allow that garbage ever. Everyone should clean the beach at least twice a day. Make sure it's absolutely spotless. But yeah, this island here, it looks pretty nice, I have to say. Let's check the other one. Seems to be more oh, this seems to be more for the native population, for the locals. Unfortunately, we don't have any 360 here. Oh, we have a few. Let me check those ones. Let's see how those people live here. Well, yeah, this is the garbage, but it's in one place. So now the government has to have some contract with their firm, or they have a, I don't know, government company that they can pick that up. That's on the government. See, maybe it's trash day. I'm not exactly blaming them, but that's organized garbage, I would say. This is how it's supposed to be. Now a much better package would be nicer, but I am okay with that either. At least it's not spreading around everywhere. So yeah, at least we have that. Let's see this one in the middle of nowhere. Oof, they don't cover faces here. Those guys look like tourists. This one doesn't, but this guy looks like a tourist. Now some barbed wire here, not exactly a nice place. They have a fire here for whatever reason. A lot of garbage here. Okay, see, that I can blame the people here. This is not where you throw out the garbage. This is not how it works if you want to keep it nice and clean. And also if you want to attract more tourists and have a great reviews. And also a great image with time. Yeah, garbage everywhere. It's just classic human civilization. Garbage, garbage, garbage. Here, well, this beach, it's pretty clean. That's probably somebody's taking care of this one. Much better. Let's check those one. Again, probably a lot of resorts here that they're doing pretty well. Very organized. Yeah, much cleaner, much nicer. Now, not a huge fan of those beaches that I don't know, that open. I like those small ones with more interesting things like trees or coconut trees or stuff like that. Here looks pretty good. Now I don't understand this small fence here. I don't see the point of that, but okay. And I see some bald spot here on the lawn that needs to be fixed. Don't like these rocks here, but that's pretty much a landscape problem. So far, not so bad. I mean, look at this. Oh, we have even some rooms. Let's see the rooms. They have AC. A TV should not be in a room. Doesn't matter where you are. I don't agree with having a TV in a room. It's so stupid, and it's gonna give you a lot of cost. No TV, no antenna, just Wi-Fi, and it's enough. You're on vacation, you don't want to watch TV. Ooh, I like this one. Oh, that's pretty nice. I'm not sure how they call it, but it's a nice illuminated feature. Like this lamp. Yeah, they need more sockets, but that's my only complaint. And hopefully the bath is gonna be clean. Not sure exactly. It's decent space, and that safe doesn't look too safe there. I just pretty much can pick them up and just go with them. So yeah, not exactly a great spot to put a safe, but yeah, pretty decent. And bigger windows. Just give up on the TV and make bigger windows. It's gonna make a much better place to live. You don't need TV in the rooms. Oh, it's Christmas. Okay. The lobby looks very basic, but I guess people don't care that much about the lobby. It's just, come on, let's face it. We are on vacation, you go on the beach and that's it. If you have good services, you already have like 50% of the great reviews. Everything else, it's just noise. And easy manageable, like, I don't know, cleaning the goods, okay, cleaning and the basic stuff inside the rooms. It's just, don't like it when I see those TVs in the rooms. No TV should be allowed even in the bedroom. It should be banned for life. No TVs. Yeah, those islands seems to be much better, probably even much more safer than we see in the mainland, probably. But let's check it. Let's see those very small ones. Ooh, we have even smaller than that. Probably from tourists. Yeah, those resorts in Nicaragua on those islands clearly is gonna be much easier to defend in case of an attack. You know, Probably a bit more expensive, obviously, because yeah, now it's an island. But it looks very nice. Yeah, this one actually looks pretty nice. I'm not sure exactly how prices are in these regions, but for the quality of services, I guess it's not going to be that difficult to have good quality services. Again, you don't have that many tourists. It's a small resort, small stuff, small island. You can maintain it very well, you can control it very well, so yeah, I don't think it is a problem, but it looks nice. I like it. On small, probably that's the economy where they goes. This is how it works for them. Let me check, they have on other islands. I don't think it's a Nicaragua island here. No, I'm not gonna check that, that's not, but this one it is, but we don't have a 360 here, so probably they don't even have population here, just a reserve national park or something like that, which is pretty good. Okay, let's move in the land. Let's see how those people actually live in their communities here around the in the big cities, in the big centers of the town. Unfortunately, again, we don't have street views, but we have some 360s from 2018. That's a brand new car, by the way. Those are not cheap cars, so yeah, I assume a lot of people are gonna send money for outside the country. Also, a lot of economy is gonna be on the black market, so yeah, things not looking that great, but on the ground level so far not so bad, you know. Maybe they choose to show only they wanted to show us, but still not exactly the worst place. Again, unfortunately we don't have that street view. It's gonna be much easier to navigate with the street view. We have to deal with, I don't think that's the stadium, by the way. I think it might be inside there, so yeah, they didn't put that 360 that well there. This is the capital. Let me check very quickly. They call it Managua, and no, I think that's the capital right there. So yeah, let me see just a few more of this one. I think it's this one. Let's see, and then we go to the capital. Not so bad so far, but again, it's kind of hard to see. We don't have those 360, those street views just with 360s. Now, what is bad here? A lot of people just jamming together, and not that many trees. That's a huge complaint, I would say. They have some paved roads, which is pretty good, at least from the satellites we can see them. But the way they build and the building code is not exactly that nice. Unfortunately, I cannot see the quality of the houses that well from here, but hopefully with time. Let me see. Okay, this guy is taking care of the cat, and for some reason they choose to make a 360. Now this, ooh, that's a nice bike, but the house, I don't think it's a house. Maybe it's, I don't know, it's a warehouse. I don't think somebody can live in that place, but who knows. Now let's check those one. Now landscape wise, Nicaragua clearly very nice, but in the classic South American cables, any other perspective, I don't see that 3,000, how much was 3,000, 4,000 per capita. I see much more than that, way more than that, but unfortunately the garbage, it's also more than I want to see it. So yeah, I assume a lot of economy on the black market, and a lot of people just send money home from wherever they work in up north. I don't think they're gonna go up south, down south. Maybe in Chile, who knows, or I'm not sure exactly how the situation is in Brazil. I made that video a long time ago, so yeah. Let's go in a capital. So yeah, I was assuming a lot of people just working outside and send the money back, and also a lot of economies on the black market, so they don't exactly pay taxes, and this is how they can afford to have just a bit more. But it seems to be looking good here. The country doesn't look that bad, I have to say. Not so bad, not so bad. For 3,000 per capita, and looking pretty sharp. Let's see this road, and the road seems to do pretty well here, so yeah. And this is, again, the quality, it's absolutely outrageous here for 2020, not even close. I can't see anything there, I'm not interested in that. This is the capital, by the way, on the pretty much flat land. Hopefully they're gonna have some street views in a very recently. I'm not sure exactly what's happened here. Maybe some bone doctor. Let's see this again. Spanish colony, Spanish influence, so yeah. don't have that much high hopes, I guess. Bars on the windows, I can see it from here, so not exactly a great score in the crime rate. Oh, there's no small piazzetta. I think it was. No, this is just a basketball court, but this is a piazzetta or something, a parking lot. Doesn't look that bad. Oh, a lot of people on this lake. Let's see, maybe it's, oh, it's a down lake here. Okay, not so bad. Yeah, I assuming there is no way they're gonna have that such a small economy with what they have here. There is, nah, don't believe it. Don't believe it at all. Okay, those parking lots. This is 2023 and those are expensive cars. Yeah. They're doing very well. Some areas they're doing very well. So yeah, assuming again, a lot of economy on the black market. What else can we see? Houses. Ooh, this one is pretty good, but this wire here doesn't. I don't have that much confidence in the in how things are going there. Probably a rich neighborhood. We see some pools here. So not a bad one. Unfortunately, we cannot check them. They don't have 360s in this region, but it looks pretty good. This is probably an Olympic swimming pool. So yeah, they have competition here. Looks pretty nice, actually. No, I'm not sure if they got so lucky that I just keep those decent places. I just find them. But yeah, except the garbage when it's pretty much everywhere, it's pretty nice in here. And like I said, definitely there is no way they're gonna have that economy. No, thank you. I don't believe it for a second. I see country with much more per capita, GDP per capita, and seeing much worse than this. So, don't believe it. Maybe this is a new way, you know, but not exactly a great way to just have a black economy, a black market economy, and say everybody's doing well. But in the outside, let's see the streets, how they look, except the garbage. Like I said, that doesn't set well with me. It doesn't seem to do that bad. I want to see some more houses. I want to see the more residential area, because not having those street views, it's gonna get much tougher, because they show only what they want, and I'm not exactly inclined to believe that. But yeah, probably a lot of people are not gonna live in the nice houses, so yeah, that's why, who knows, maybe that's why they didn't show it. But also some of them seems to do pretty decent. Let's move to the other way. What is this? Oh, they have an island with lakes and some people here. They have a volcano here. Oh, I want to see this volcano. It's pretty tall and still going up. You can see from above, pretty nice. Probably they have some eruption at some point. They have some communities here of people. Let's check this one. Probably this is in a field of whatever they grow in here. No, it's in underground. Whatever that is there. Let me check another one. It looks nice. Everything I see, so everything, almost everything, it looks much nicer than I expected when I see those numbers for context. So even here, oh, let's check this beach. Pretty strange, I would say. Again, one of those muddy waters here. Whatever happened there, they have the volcano there. That looks pretty nice. Not sure exactly what they're taking pictures that deep in the sea, but okay. Let's check this one. It looks pretty nice. Again, not having street views, you can choose to show only what you want. So yeah, but landscape wise, very nice. That's for sure. That's 100% sure. I'm not trying to take that from them. Here, see, it's probably about the restaurant or something here that they, okay, not exactly a restaurant. Maybe. Some cows here. The road's not exactly in the great shape, so yeah. I mean, you're gonna see those, like I said, those 3,000 per capita at some point, but it's not as bad as I thought. But looking pretty decent, you know. The problem it is still that growing population again. That it is something that you cannot get over with that easy. if they, let's say, if they manage that number to go, probably they're not gonna go over 10 million people, but still, it's for their economy, still growing the population. Well, what can I say? Good luck with that. And make some street views. I want to see in more detail. Yeah, clearly there are some bad areas too. It's just the way it is. Let's go back. Let's go back here. Now we see that here. Let's check this one. A lot of people. See, you can see, oh, not that many people. Only they need a million homes, 2 million homes. Maybe not that many, but look how spread around they are. So yeah, again, it's a monumental task to manage that many people, but they have a lot of corruption. So yeah, that's an expensive car, by the way. They have a lot of corruption. So yeah, things cannot go well with high corruption, no matter what. Yeah, it's worse than a dictatorship, you know. Much worse to have corruption than they have casinos, okay, than having a dictatorship. In a dictatorship, at least things are getting done, but also depends on dictatorship, because dictatorship also go hand in hand with corruption. So you have a dictatorship somehow without corruption, it's a whole different story. They have paved streets, which is good. Unfortunately, they don't maintain them that well. If they don't have this garbage and those cables, I would say it's pretty decent. And clearly they need some sort of a sewage system, because it cannot stay the water like that. It's gonna damage the road very quickly. You're gonna put some more money repairing that road, but again, corruption. Just the way it is. Oh shit. Not sure exactly what happened here, but a lot of garbage everywhere, so I don't want to see it anymore. Infrastructure seems to be pretty well here, so yeah. Pretty interesting. Oh, they have another volcano here. What is this? I want to see that. Yeah, looking pretty nice. Oh, they have even some water there, some lake. Not so bad. You know, Nicaragua is not a bad country, especially in the landscape wise, looking pretty good. Unfortunately, the corruption, the medical system, the education system, and the economy doesn't do well, but landscape wise, pretty nice. If you want to have a vacation in those small islands, pretty nice. So they have some good things going on for them. See how important it is to have those good 360. You're always going to change your opinion. It's not exactly a fair fight, let's say, with other countries that they don't make them that great. But hey, it's not a fair world in the end, so fight with what we have. Yeah, pretty nice. Let's say outside the main city it's pretty good, except the garbage. That I cannot get past that. But I am curious, if you're living in this country, how things are, because my bet it is on the black market economy and people working outside and send money home. That's my bet here. Because those numbers, and a lot of corruption obviously. Otherwise, I don't see that. How much it was again per capita? Not even $3,000, like $2,600 per capita. No, you cannot have that much. You can have those roads with that. You cannot have. How is the average wage here? Yeah, how much do you get paid here? The average and the minimum wage also. Both I'm interested in them, because again, they seems to do much better than they claim to do. Let's say it like that. Actually, pretty good. Let's check this south border here. Oh, they have a small town here. Let's see how well these people are doing. Not so bad. I don't see the point of that. It's just a waste of money, but not so bad. What else? What else can we see? Pretty interesting. Oh, not so bad even here. Yeah, they have some nice places even here in the middle of nowhere. not so, not exactly how I expect. Again, when I see those numbers, you expect the worst. But clearly things are not exactly like that. So that's why I see when I add those numbers for context, it's just tell you a very small part of the story. You could go either way. In this situation, they got better than the numbers. Yeah, I don't understand that fire there doesn't look that well. Even from above, again, houses, yeah, not so well. But the roads are pretty good actually. The roads are pretty good. The landscape is very nice. There is a lot to like here. But again, I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna be with the crime rate. I didn't see exactly that many residential homes. Oh, we have some street views here. Okay, let's find it here. Maybe we can have some answers here. This is 2021. Okay, pretty recently. Well, I see some bars here on the door, but this is probably a store or something like that. This is the store district. I want to go to the residential one. Where are the residential people living? Oh, they have even gay flags here. Social. Huh. Yeah, they have bars on the windows. I see some of them there. Yeah, even here, so the crime rate cannot be that low when you have those bars pretty much everywhere. They're trying to. This one, I'm not sure exactly. I think we saw some barbed wire. Oh yeah, look at this. Yeah, crime rate, clearly some problems with that. But look at those cars, and this is 2021. They are fairly new cars. Not all of them, obviously, but those are not cheap cars. Those Hiluxes, very expensive cars. And even those buildings in a commercial sites, it looks pretty nice. Look at this. Those are expensive one. There is more of the story here than it lets to get known by the numbers. Yeah, some barbed wire there, whatever they're using there. Roads again, pretty good. Yeah, in housing department, maybe again probably it's gonna look better on the inside, most likely, but still does not look that great on the outside. This one looks pretty nice. But I don't think it's a house, or maybe it's one for renting. Is this one? Let me check again. Yeah. Probably they take a lot of money from these tourists. They do some decent money with them. Not sure exactly what's happening inside there. Yeah, probably the crime rate is gonna be the only thing that's gonna worry me here. But again, landscape pretty nice. Pretty good. Yeah, this seems to do pretty well. Who thought about that? Here probably most likely 100% a rich neighborhood. Maybe they make those houses for renting, maybe they make them for themselves, but it looks pretty nice, I have to say. From above, not 360, so you can see those houses, how they look, but they have some of them there. They seems to do pretty well from themselves. Then let's check this one. Probably a rental, 100%, something like that. Just want to show it. Yeah, no road here, but the house is brand new. 100% is brand new. Come on. Moving kind of slowly. They want to show us around the house. Yeah, those are expensive house by any country you go. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna be cheap to build something like this. And they have a pool and everything. It's looking pretty good. It's even a view they have. Yeah, probably for renting. 100% I would say for renting. Hey, they seems to do pretty well probably there. That's why they make them. You know, make them, rent them, more income. So probably they're doing better than those people in the main cities. Nobody's gonna came here to see anything. Yeah, a lot of bars here, a lot of bars here too. Things not looking that great. So yeah, pretty spectacular, I would say. I didn't expect to see that doing that well, especially after saw the numbers. Seems to do pretty well. Seems to do very nice, actually. Yeah, problem with corruption, problem with crime rate, problem with how they build with the garbage, with a lot of things. But in the same time, also seems to do pretty decent on the ground level, especially if you don't live in a big city. Even here, look at this nice street here. Again, they could choose to show only what they want us to see, but I see it worst, that's for sure. I see it worst. So yeah, if you're living in this country, just for curiosity, just tell me, how is the minimum wage, how much is the minimum wage, how much is the average wage, how is the situation there, how those people can afford that many things, because they look expensive. And my bet, like I said, it was in it's a very corrupt country, judging by the numbers, and a lot of economy is going to be on the black market, and also a lot of people are going to go outside to work and then come back and spend the money inside the country. That's what my bets are. Now, I am wrong, I'm not wrong, I'm not sure exactly. That's why I want to see some people that living in this country commenting on the video and tell us how exactly things are there, because it could be a different story that I'm missing here. So yeah, well, that was, I guess, Nicaragua. Not so bad. A lot of hotel, a lot of resorts, those when you can actually have a nice time. It looks very nice. Just working on those 360, they don't make it that well. But it looks pretty nice, and make some 360 on the beach. That would be also pretty good. Pretty nice to see them. Yeah, it's very interesting place. Let's say, at least. Landscape wise, very nice. Yeah, so I guess that was Nicaragua. So I guess until the next time, check the other videos and comment on this one, how you think it was, because it was much better than I expected, I have to say.